Okay guys, we're gonna do something with sourdough discard today without adding very many ingredients at all. Start with a hot pan, a little bit of olive oil, and then some of your favorite seasoning. I'm using everything but the bagel seasoning today. You can get this Trader Joe's or Costco, anywhere. Any of your seasonings that are in your cupboard will work perfect. Just add a little bit of that, and then some fresh herbs. I'm using thyme and a little bit of rosemary today. You can use something from your garden. You could even add some dried herbs from your pantry if you've got something that you really enjoy. Also, remember, herbs are optional. Just adds a little bit of color, a little bit of freshness, and a nice little fresh flavor in there. Get those in. It should be a hot sizzling pan. I'm showing you today on my table because my lighting's a lot better over here, but you would do this on the stove while the pan is still sizzling with that hot oil. All right, so I heated it up, and now I'm just taking some of my discard. So instead of making a recipe with it, this is a great way to use it rather than throwing it out for all you sourdough fans. Pour it in just like you would a pancake. Let it cook for a little while. When those bubbles start to pop, add a little bit more seasoning on top, maybe a few more fresh herbs, and then just let it cook here in that hot cast iron pan until it gets really nice and golden brown. So you're just gonna watch it cook. This really only takes about 5 to 10 minutes max for this whole process. It's really quick, great to add to breakfast, great to add to a snack in the afternoon. I'm just taking a look right here, and then I'll flip it over. Once it's done and golden on both sides, it's not gonna rise a ton, but it's got a really, really great, yummy sourdough flavor. It's risen just a little bit like a pancake. I sliced mine up into pie type shape, pie pieces that I can then add to my board. Okay, we're starting this board today using a little bit of ricotta. You could use any kind of cheese that you have in the house, some fresh cheese, maybe one of those softies that we're doing for our challenge. And then I've seriously just used 1/2 of a grapefruit, really nice sweet ruby red, just sliced like you would an orange. The jam that I put on this board today is a hot pepper pear jam from Girl Meets Dirt. It is fantastic. Tons of great depth of flavor, really good paired with that ricotta. Then I had half a bunch of asparagus left in my fridge from when we did a stir fry the other night. So I just blanched that, again, really quick, just dropped into some hot water, put it in an ice bath, popped it back in the fridge because I knew I wanted to use it for this board today. Arranging that on the board, adding the jam in, and then I'm just going to grab that sourdough discard pancake that I made earlier and start to arrange that on my plate. These pieces of these little wedges of the sourdough discard are really, really good. We enjoyed them this afternoon. You could do this for breakfast really easily, but we had this for our snack today. We just added a little bit of that jam, a little bit of the ricotta, and maybe a little bit more of a sprinkle of the everything but the seasoning, mostly just because I'm a fiend when it comes to that spice, or that seasoning, I guess. I really, really love it. So here, I finished out the video just the way that this is right here, but then I realized afterwards that I had some berries in the back of my fridge. So after adding the herbs here, I tucked in a few blackberries and blueberries on that grapefruit just to add a little bit of color, a little bit of depth, but seriously, super simple. Great way to use up what you have in the fridge. Remember, vegetables can always come to life with a little bit of an ice bath or blanching and then dunking into an ice bath. And great way to use up that sourdough discard without having to use any more flour. If you're trying to conserve and not go to the store, this is the best way to use that sourdough discard. A little bit more seasoning on top of that asparagus, and voila, bon appetit.